Welcome to Blowing Solutions Wide Open, where we're talking about all things spiritual, as well as creating new systems in the area of healthcare, finance, government, education, new environmental practices, and anything that helps the planet or helps humanity. My name is Addie, and today I want to share with you a little bit about kind of some of the things that have transpired for me within the last week around things that are going on in the world. Not a fun subject, but I do want to share a little bit about kind of what I've been through personally. So, there was a point in time I was on a social media platform. I don't know, maybe a week or so ago, and I was watching all these live videos of what's going on out in LA in regards to our wonderful president dropping the orders to bring in military or whatever he's doing. Um, and I think these videos can be trusted given that they're live. I mean, anything's possible, but I do think this is probably what's going on out there. And so I'm looking at this and up until this point, I have stayed out of a lot of this. I don't watch the news. I don't I don't want to feed into the anger, the fear, the depression around all of it, because that just makes these events stronger and it makes these people stronger, and that's the last thing I want. And so plus when you're watching something that you can't control and you're feeling bad about that, nothing good comes from that. So I've stayed out of a lot of it, but I'm watching this, and all of a sudden, I can't really explain it fully, but it was an energetic thing. It almost like I felt myself put the hammer down and just say, I am absolutely done. And I know, like, who am I? Who cares if I'm done? But whatever, it's how I felt. And I just thought it was kind of like, like a dad when they've had it with their kids' bad behavior. That's how I felt. Like, I'm done, and I will take whatever leadership stance I have to take to you know change this, because this is such a waste of everybody's time. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. um and it's like we're living in, like, thousands of years ago or something, just complete crap. And so I have that experience, and there's something in me that it just feels really, really profound, whatever just happened, that I just felt. And so about a day later, I'm out walking, and I'm kind of going through this contemplation around, the spiritual community is really very much pushing, stay out of things, keep your vibration high, just tend to your own energy, do your work. And I agree with all that. That's the most important thing we can do right now. That's the most powerful thing we can do right now. But I'm also kind of like grappling with the fact that, we are human beings. We're in a physical world, and I don't feel great about, like, completely ignoring people that are getting harmed. That doesn't make me feel good. I don't necessarily feel like that's what I came here to do. Now, some people, that's their best course of action, is to not get involved and just be peaceful within themselves. I mean, some of those people that live their life meditating on a mountain do more good for the world than most of us. So this is not about my way is better, but for me personally, I'm feeling like lack of action and lack of kind of being there for those who are getting tortured right now is not something I feel good about. So I'm trying to strike a balance between these two schools of thought. And all of a sudden, I see this image drop into my head, and it's an image of, like, thousands, maybe millions of people, and they're in the streets, but they're not fighting back. They're not, resisting. They're not protesting. They are literally dancing and singing and chanting. And I initially kind of was like, okay, yeah, that's gonna work. But then I thought, wait a minute, like, I didn't come up with that image. That's my a huge street party is my idea of hell. Like, I need, like, 3 foot of space around me at all times. Um, so I thought, wait a minute, what if that actually is the answer? What if, you know, we do have to take to the streets, or those of us that are willing to? What if we show up, doing everything in our power to raise our vibration as high as we can? And we don't go there in resistance, and we don't go there to fight back, and we don't go there, you know, feeding into the violence, because that's what those people want anyway. They just want to feed off our negative emotions, and they want their martial law or whatever they're up to. And so we don't give them what they want. We give them our high frequency. We start ruling through frequency, but not through force. And so I know that sounds very hippie and kind of annoying. And like, I know most of us are not feeling like that right now. We're not feeling like, oh, I want to go and, you know, chant my chants. Like, we're just mad. But maybe that's the work. Maybe we go and we show up for those people that are being absolutely tortured. And, you know, who knows, possibly, you know, with us acting so happy, or I should say, being internally so happy and having fun and laughing and doing the things that we're good at. And I mean, I think we should do some really crazy, ridiculous things and record it. But maybe, just maybe, that either changes the minds of some of these people involved in this, or it simply blocks what they're wanting to do. I don't really know. This is just an idea that came to me. And you know, I think it's worth exploring, because I'm not hearing any good ideas on what to do right now. And I know that, you know, being in resistance and protesting and fighting back and being upset is not helping anything. But at the same time, lack of action to me just doesn't feel like the complete answer. So anyway, it's something I wanted to share. Should we get to that place where we have to take to the streets, or we want to take to the streets, I really think this is how we should show up. Like, if you have a special talent, bring it. Like, if you're an awesome magician, or, you know, you can imitate like one of these one of these political people, do it. Get us laughing, get us high vibing, get us to a place where they literally can't put their claws into us anymore. It might sound like a fantasy land, but this is, you know, we are an energetic based, you know, planet. And this is kind of the work. This is how we have to do it at this point in time. And so let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. If you've had other ideas, I'd love to hear those as well. This is not an idea that I'm, you know, totally attached to, but I am talking about it more and more because I didn't come up with that image in my head. And I think that it is possible it might work. I don't know. Maybe we won't have to take to the streets, though. I'm not really sure. But it seems like it's getting messy, and it seems like I know for me, I've had enough. So thanks for listening. You want to come on here and talk about spirituality, or you have ideas for creating new systems on the planet, I'd love to hear about it. Also, please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Take care.